so we'll see. Okay, let's go ahead and get going. So, I was just talking a little bit about AZ Merit. Tomorrow, the AZ Merit is only for the people that are in person. If you're online, you don't need to worry about AZ Merit until next week. But the people that are in person have to take part of it tomorrow. So there will not be live lessons tomorrow. Because during the AZ Merit, I can't have my phone. There's no computer. I can't do any of that stuff. So there won't be any live lessons tomorrow. But you will have assignments to do. There will still be 2 things you need to do, a math assignment and a reading assignment.
For everyone?
Everybody. If you're in person, you'll take the ELA test or the writing test. And then in the afternoon, when everybody's done, we'll do those assignments. If you're online, you can do the assignments whenever you need to throughout the day. But there will still be assignments tomorrow.
Can I turn in my writing practice?
Yeah, that's fine. So, we're going to go ahead and get going. So today we are going to read a story about a 7-year-old girl who gets a prosthetic hand. So she doesn't have a hand, and they fitted her, and she has a prosthetic hand and gets to use her hand now, finally.
How come she gets to have one?
Because she doesn't have an arm, Yoshi. It's not like they cut it off to give her a new one. She just was born without one, or lost it somehow. What?
It has a long title.
It does have a really long title, yeah.
How can she lose it?
Some people are born without limbs, or maybe she was in an accident and lost part of her arm. I don't know. Maybe it'll talk about it in the thing. I haven't read it yet. It's not on slides.
Yeah, it's on slides. I know. Never mind.
I was like, it's not on slides. So go ahead and get the story opened up, please. It's called 7-Year-Old Girl Gets New Hand from 3D Printer. So let's go ahead and get that pulled up. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to just kind of get settled, pull it up, get ready for the day. It's not very long. All right, so I'll give you guys about a minute, get that pulled up, and then we will go through the typical things that we do. Background, author, we'll read it. There's not as many activities over on the side. So while you guys get that pulled up, I'll talk about that. So over on the side, we only have 4 things to do. And we're only going to do 3 of them actually today. We're going to do the first read, the close read, and the share your independent learning. We're not going to do the evidence log. But they all don't have very much to do in them. Because what we're going to do is we're going to read this today, and then your assignment tomorrow is 10 questions based off of this reading. We've done it before, where we read a short story, and then the next day you work on the questions. Do you guys remember doing that last quarter? We did that a couple of times. So we're going to do that twice this week. We're going to read a story, do the questions the next day. So Monday, Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we'll read a different one and do a set of questions again on your own. And then on Friday, I don't remember what we're doing on Friday. But that's what we're doing for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But the reason we have this planned like that is so that tomorrow, when we're not doing any live lessons, you can do the reading assignment on your own after we read it together. So that's the plan for the week. Let's go ahead and get going on it. So I have not read this yet, so we're going to read it all together. Let's start with some background information and the author. If you are online, this may be a little loud, turned all the way up. I'm going to go ahead and play it in 3, 2, 1.
7-Year-Old Girl Gets New Hand from 3D Printer by John Rogers. News article. Background. 3D printing is a relatively new technology in which an actual 3-dimensional object can be made using a machine. A 3D printer builds objects by adding small amounts of plastic or other similar materials layer by layer. About the author. John Rogers is a pop culture writer at the Associated Press, a cooperative 24-hour news agency. Member newspapers have access to the stories AP journalists write in exchange for supporting the agency. The modern AP was founded in 1900 and has established an extensive network of news bureaus around the world to collect and distribute news articles rapidly.
All right. So that wasn't actually a whole lot of information there. We have a little bit about the author, John Rogers. He works for the Associated Press, which is just a type of newspaper. They are 24 hours always putting out news. Nowadays, I'm sure that they put the articles out on the internet as well instead of just on paper, like a newspaper. And then the background information was about 3D printing. Have you guys seen 3D printing before?
Yeah.
And the things that it can make? I will, while we read the story, I'll look something up to see if I can find a cool 3D printing video, maybe.
I heard about it.
Yeah, so basically 3D printing is that you have a program and you can design whatever you want to design.
Oh, and it's like this little thing that puts out plastic.
Yeah. So in this case, they design an arm for a little girl. And so they design it how they want it to be, whether or not it's going to move, like the fingers will move or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll read and see that. But they design that on the computer. And then that program will send the data and the information to the 3D printer. And then it kind of just, you have to have a certain plastic or something, and it creates the whatever you made in 3D. So it creates a hand in this case for this young girl. So I will, while we read, try and find a video to show you guys on that, and we'll see. Yeah, it's really cool. So this is a shorter one. It's about 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. We'll start it and we'll probably pause it a couple times, talk about what's happening like normal. So we're going to go ahead and get going in 3, 2, 1.
7-year-old girl gets new hand from 3D printer by John Rogers. 7-year-old Faith Lennox never thought much about putting a prosthetic limb where her missing left hand had once been. Not until the little girl learned she could design her own and that she could strap it on easily. Then she could jump on her bike and pedal away. With family members occasionally shouting, "Be careful," and "Watch out for that car," Faith firmly placed her new hand's bright blue and pink fingers on her bike's left handlebar. Then she took off. She rode around the Build It workspace. Inside, just a short time before, that hand had rolled off a 3D printer that built it overnight. "I don't think we'll ever get her off it," said her mother, Nicole. She was smiling with resignation as she watched her daughter continue to circle the parking lot in Los Alamitos. It is a suburb in Orange County, California. The prosthetic that had just made such a task immediately easy represents a breakthrough in small, lightweight hands. They are easy for children to use. It weighs only a pound and costs just $50 to construct. It is made out of the same materials used to make drones and automobile parts.
So $50 is extremely cheap compared to how much an actual like prosthetic something would be. It used to be so hard to make these prosthetic limbs and all of that stuff, whether it was a leg or an arm or a hand, that people would have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get one. The fact that they were able to do that for $50 is crazy. So much cheaper. But again, I don't know what kind of functions the hand has yet, right? It could just be a piece of plastic there that just kind of helps her stabilize herself, or I don't know if it moves or anything yet. I don't think so. Not yet. We'll see. Let's find out.
When Faith outgrows it in 6 months or a year, a replacement can be made just as cheaply and easily. That's according to Mark Muller, a prosthetics professor at California State University, Dominguez Hills. He helped with the design. He said a heavier adult model with sensors attached to a person's muscles would run $15,000 to $20,000. Faith manipulates her hand without sensors. Instead, as she demonstrated after the bike ride, she moves her upper arm back and forth. That in turn opens and closes its blue and pink fingers. "My favorite colors," she noted with a smile. She uses the fingers to grasp objects. One was the plush toy she brought with her.
Okay, so she can use a hand like a hand, and it costs her $50 compared to $20,000. Yeah.
How much it usually costs?
Yeah, so what they talked about for the adult one right there, the heavier model, they will attach like a prosthetic limb to someone and attach it to their muscles, like the wires and stuff, so that they can move it and manipulate it like you would a normal hand. But this one, it seems that there are functions on Faith's new hand that allow it to, open and close its hand, move, all that stuff. Maybe. I don't know exactly how it would work, but the fact that she can use the hand pretty much like a normal hand is really good, especially for the amount of money that they paid for it compared to some other people's, right?
I would pay $50 to do that.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. But so yeah, we're on paragraph 8. Here we go.
The oldest of 3 children, Faith had compartment syndrome when her position during childbirth cut off the flow of blood to her left forearm. The issue damaged tissue, muscle, and bone. After 9 months of trying to save the limb, doctors determined they had to amputate just below the elbow. She had tried a couple more traditional and more expensive prosthetics over the year. She found them bulky, heavy, and hard to use. Her parents were working with a nonprofit group, Enable, to get her a 3D printed hand. But the technology is so new there's a waiting list, her mother said. Then she learned from a friend what Build It Workspace could do. His son had visited with his scout troop. The small studio teaches people to use high-tech printers. It provides access to them for projects and does its own commercial printing. The company was founded less than a year ago by mechanical engineer Mark Lengsfeld. The firm has printed out everything from pumps for oil and gas companies to parts for unmanned aerial vehicles. But this was the first hand Lengsfeld and his employees had built. So he used Enable's open source technology and called in Cal State Dominguez Hills experts for guidance. When Faith quickly strapped on their new creation and headed out to ride, as TV cameras captured the moment, Lengsfeld admitted he was nervous. After being up all night finishing the hand, he wanted to test it himself to be sure it worked. But she did fine with it, he said, chuckling. She noted it did fine by her as well. I didn't have to lean so much, she said of the difficulty of navigating and steering a bike with just one hand. Afterward, as onlookers crowded into Build It's small studio, the little girl sat shyly in front of a huge poster. Hand it to Faith, it read. Lengsfeld had made it for her. But when asked to demonstrate how she can use the hand to help with things like schoolwork, she got busy. She placed her new hand firmly on a piece of paper. The hand held it in place as she drew a picture. And just what did she draw? Her new hand, of course, complete with robot fingers in perfect detail.
All right. I think that's pretty cool. The ability to print a hand that this little girl can actually use and function with. That's awesome. I did find a video that we can watch. They do 3D printing time lapses.
Oh yeah, those are.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go find one really quick, and I'll present it and show you guys in just a minute. Let me get it pulled up. All right, let me represent this. So this is kind of what 3D printing looks like when you, I don't know how loud this is going to be, so turn your mic or your headphones down again, just in case. We're going to do the Baby Groot run. Baby Groot.
Ahoy!
Oh,
It's Minnie.
after
See?
the ad.
All the best toys made Minnie. New 5 surprise toy mini bread.
I cannot hear you at all. Sorry. That took a while. So they put the model that they wanted to build of Groot into whatever the technology is, and this thing just goes around in circles and builds Baby Groot. So that's pretty cool. That's just, I don't really know what the function of having a 3D printed baby Groot would be, other than a decoration. But they can do things like build people's hands now, and all kinds of things like that, which is really cool. We at the very, very beginning of this unit, we actually watched a video about a dog who got a leg from a 3D printer. Do you guys remember that? Yeah. So there was a video. I don't know if it was a back or a front leg. But one of the dogs was missing a leg, and they 3D printed him a leg that he could use, and he was running around. Was it 2 legs?
Two front legs.
His front teeth, his front legs. It might have been both legs. I don't remember.
That lost its whole back leg, so we made it a wheelchair. And so the dog learned how to walk with 2 legs, so the 2 legs give him his back leg. He learned how to balance.
Gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, so they use these 3D printers to do a lot of cool things. So let's go ahead and do a couple of activities and we'll be done for the day. So first thing we're gonna do under making meaning is our first read chart, as we normally do. So let's go ahead and get that one opened up. Okay, so the title is super long. I'm just gonna write 7-year-old girl get the hand. That's fine too. Okay, 7-year-old girl gets a 3D hand. You can copy and paste it if you would like to.
Wait, are we setting up the engineer yet?
We're gonna look at it, but it should already be on your computers. Alright. What we're gonna do is the first 2 boxes up here, the notice and the annotate. First, the notice, answer the 2 questions. What is it about and what happens, right? Who is involved and what happens? I don't need complete sentences right now. That's okay. You can just type it out in little bullet points. And then for the annotate as well, let's say you need to highlight 2 important details. Okay. I'll give you a couple minutes to work on that one. I'm going to check attendance really quick. But go ahead and do those first 2 boxes.
So you don't know if the girl said when she got her hair back, she's like, "Where's
All right. Take a couple minutes and get that one answered. Do about 2 more minutes. Her name is Faith. Okay, about 1 more minute, and then we're gonna look at the bottom 2 boxes there. Okay, let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit. If you're still working on those 2 boxes, that's fine. I'm just gonna explain the next 2. They're things that we have done before, so you know how to do them. We're gonna connect this story to anything else that we know about in our own lives and other stories that we've talked about, a movie that you've seen maybe. So try to connect it to 2 things, please. So connect this news article to 2 things. It could be your life, a previous reading, TV show, movie. Yoshi?
Can we use Mad Max as one?
Sure, how do you connect it to that?
Abdul had a
There you go, that's a connection. So you can connect it to anything else that you've seen. And then, as always, we have a little bit of a summary that we're going to do here. So I'd like you to write 2 to 3 sentences for a summary. Okay. I can't show everything at once, so I'll just stick with the bottom ones. So go ahead and be working on those for a few minutes. Yes, Yoshi?
You guys finish your work? I think. You guys still up there? Still part of the work. Yeah, I see. What? See, doesn't mean I look at it. It doesn't mean I look at it. It looks like it's closed. Like, late. Too late. So. The snack. I got this, a baseball bat, a baseball bat, a baseball glove. And, wait, weren't we supposed to give you that on Christmas, not Easter? I forget snacks for Easter. My mom got me a sponge and dish soap. I always forget to have my hands clean. I don't know why, but I found these guys really in the Easter basket, like Easter and Easter basket in the year, because yeah. Yeah, you gotta wake up, man. Come on.
Alright, how are we doing? Need a couple more minutes? Couple minutes? Okay. Alright, we'll do about one more minute and then we'll move on to our next part. For the summary, yes. The other three don't need to be complete sentences, but the summary should be.
And I kind of got sick a little bit over the weekend, like I just had this stuff out, and now I have allergies.
Yep.
That's what I had.
It's allergy season for sure.
And so my brother's allergies like really bad. They're not really good, so that's what I had for like a whole week. It's so bad. It's like an itch you can't scratch your nose. I can't even go watch the movie.
You'll see it eventually, Yoshi. It's not like it's only out for 2 days.
Yeah, I used to do this.
Alright, let's go ahead and look at our next section. If you did not get to finish the first read chart, you can either continue it right now or go back to it. That's fine. The next section is another kind of chart that we will fill out. It's called Close Read the Text. So let's open up that one. There's 3 questions here, so we're going to work on these 3 questions. So, again, you can put the title here. 7-year-old gets a 3D and okay. And then this is similar to things that we've done. It's just in a chart instead of a notebook, like clicking on the notebook to fill out instead. So for the first one on the left, it says close read the text. Revisit the sections that you marked during your first read. Read these sections closely and annotate what you notice. We are not going to do that part. But we are going to figure out what kind of questions we still have and what conclusions we can make. So let's start with some questions. What kind of questions do you have based on what we read?
How does it move?
Huh?
Like, how does it move?
How does the hand move? I like that question because I don't really know the answer. So how does the hand move? Good. What other types of questions do we have? What other questions can we ask that we don't necessarily know the answer to? That would be cool to talk about.
Does it like grip things?
It said that she could pick up a toy, so I think that it can grip pretty well. Let's get 2 more questions. What else can we ask questions about? Feel free to type them into the chat if you want.
How long did it take her to draw a picture of the end?
How long did it take her to draw the picture?
Is it easier to ride her bike than
How about just, is it easier?
her ride?
Yeah. Madi, they talked about how she lost her arm. She had a, yeah, so there's this medical thing called compartment syndrome, and it's where the blood, like for your four limbs, right? Your two arms and your two legs, your four limbs. It's where the blood flow is not getting to one of them correctly. So basically, it's not getting the blood flow, it's not getting the stuff that it needs, and the limb kind of starts to die. So basically, the kid wasn't getting enough blood flow to her left arm correctly, and it was putting the rest of her life at risk, right? So they had to amputate from the elbow down so that the blood flow would go to just the elbow and not try to do too much work that wasn't working at the bottom. Yeah, that's what compartment syndrome is. So they had to amputate to save her life, type of thing, right? I did learn that from Grey's Anatomy, actually, so can't lie.
I was gonna say, is it hard to like?
All right, so I kind of put like, is it easier to do simple tasks? So she can ride her bike now. She can draw a little bit. She can write. So is it easier now to do those things for her? Okay. And then we're going to do the conclusions. We're not going to do the annotate one because we kind of already did that when we highlighted the text. So we're not going to do that. But we are going to do a couple of conclusions. What can we conclude here? She's happier with her hand. Okay, she's happier with her new hand. What else can we say for sure? She likes riding her bike. Let's find one more thing that we can say for sure about her. She enjoys her hand, right? She's
Thankful for it.
yeah. You type it, what I'm typing. That's what you do. She's thankful for her new hand.
Okay, all of that, yeah. Okay. It's like giving everybody else down there, but you're getting. I know, right?
For real though. Yeah. All right. I'll give you about 1 minute, get those typed out.
I guess like.
It looks pretty cool.
You can see right now, that grass is like the desert channel.
That is cool.
I got cleaning supplies for Easter.
That's fun. I didn't get anything for Easter. All right. For the second box right there, analyze the text. Oh, my computer's gonna die. We're actually gonna skip it, so you can write skip right there. All right. Okay, there we go. All good. Not gonna die.
Are we doing the bottom paragraph, like of what now they're interested most?
Yeah. So, I'm gonna scroll down just a little bit. The next one at the bottom, quick write, is just a little paragraph that you need to write. So, you are going to pick a paragraph. whether it's paragraph 1, 5, 8, I don't care what paragraph you choose. One paragraph that grabbed your attention. Maybe it's her riding the bike for the first time. Maybe it's the information about how she lost her hand. Whatever you were interested in, pick one in the paragraph, and then I want you to explain why you were interested in it and write 3 to 5 sentences here. Okay, so pick one paragraph. All right. So I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes on this one. Pick one paragraph and then explain why you are interested in it and write 3 to 5 sentences about why.
I like stories like that.
It is a cool story.
Like, people have that happen. Like, here's another story. So, my dad knew this guy in high school. He was young and running, and this guy was doing it, like, I was really jumping into it.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his arm, and he lost all of his arms, his legs. He make it seem like he had a lot of arms. Oh, his arms. Yeah, he lost all his arms, and then he lost his legs. And so they made it to where he could drive it using his wheels, so he was just the closest to the drive still.
Interesting. That would be hard to relearn. That's cool though. That is a cool story.
I'm still again trying to figure out how to start using it.
It's literally on my screen.
That's why I have to keep going back and then retype it.
It's right there in front of you.
I know.
I don't have a solution for you, dude. These are not, it's not hard to copy what I write.
I don't know how to do that.
I'm gonna give you guys about 5 more minutes to write your paragraph. If you're done, sit tight.
My dad knows another guy that was in Navy SEAL. And he's getting money from the Navy SEAL, and the guy comes up behind him, smacks him over the head with the bar, and with the pipe. And the Navy SEAL turns around and goes to the door. He ran into the guy's street, and the guy took the pipe again and smacked him in the head. And he was knocked out of consciousness for a little bit. And then when he woke up again, he called the police and said, I broke, I was in the Navy SEAL, I broke the camera. It's probably the nearest hospital. They went to the nearest hospital in the city. Huh? That is crazy. Yeah. But it's like they know how to defend themselves really easily. Because they do. They have a lot of training. Do you know most of the people that try to do Navy SEAL die in training? Really? Because they have to make them hold their breath for like 2 or 3 minutes. Because a lot of people do it. They get pushed to the
About,
Is this the only thing we're doing today?
yeah. I think we have one more question after this, but not much. We'll do about 3 more minutes and then we'll move on to that last part that we're gonna do today.
when I went to the back of the street, we found a hot spring and we found it. It was pretty cool. Yeah. It was like 90 degrees down there. It was pretty hot. Yeah. Went down the story, we went over to our, it made me miss the book for a little bit. I went camping near Flagstaff. What's up, Mike? Flagstaff seemed like it was nice this weekend. I wasn't there, but it was warm last night when I got home. Okay, warm. It was still cold. Yeah, it was cold, but it was warmer than it usually is. Sorry. Like that, but we didn't go up the mountain. We were just like at the bottom of the mountain. Yeah. I've never been camping before. I've never been camping.
Bradford? Yeah, go ahead and go quickly. All right, about 1 more minute and then we will get going.
Like in the story or right here? I had my pants get caught up in this. No, I just heard the speaking at the I've had my shoelaces get stuck underneath the shoes. Hey, what does the yellow mean?
Yellow's in-person students. All right, let's go ahead and look at our last section here. It doesn't matter, guys. So we did first read, we did close read, so we're going to close the making meaning. And then for effective expression, we're going to do the share your independent learning. This is just a quick one. It says, oh, it's longer than I thought. Just kidding, we're not going to do it. I lied. So never mind. We're only doing the 2 sections here. First read, close read the text because it's pretty much time to head out. Not enough time. You can get it turned in. You want to be able to see the story still for tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to give you guys an assignment still. There will be 10 questions to answer based off of this thing. I'm going to make a video after school really quick that explains what you need to do and how to do it so that if you're at home, you know what to do. And when you're done with your test here, and well, once everybody's done, you'll be able to do it even though I'll be here. But still, tomorrow you will be doing it on your own. There won't be any help. I won't be guiding you through anything. So just keep that in mind. You're going to be using this story to answer some questions on your own. which you guys are completely capable of doing. So I will make a little video and post that tomorrow for those of you that are online. Yeah, that's really it. So that is our ELA lesson today. You guys that are online can head out, and we'll see you at 10 o'clock for math.